Hi science fans, so today I'm going to do a bit of revision for your B2 paper. This is trilogy, also triple, kind of everything, higher foundation. So we're going to talk about the process of cloning. You need to know two processes. I'm going to focus on one mostly today. Bit of a Mrs Corbett revelation. I'm a huge Will Smith fan. Like when I was younger, I had posters of him on my wall. Very cool, very cool. Still awesome. Check him out on Instagram because he is brilliantly inspiring, funny human being. So today I'm going to talk about how I could creepily clone Will Smith, which leaves me only left to say, this is a story all about how I'm going to clone Will Smith somehow. I'd like to take a minute, just sit right there. This is how I'm going to clone the Prince of Bel-Air. Sounded really cool in my head, it's quite awkward in reality, so that was blooming awkward. Let's get cracking. Okay. So I'm going to do some cloning, which means that I'm going to make something which is genetically identical to the original. And using this marvellous technology, I can slide in who I'm going to clone. I'm cloning the Fresh Prince. Okay, so to clone him, all I need to do is to remove a cell. It has to be a diploid cell, so one of his regular cells with 23 pairs or 46 chromosomes, so that I can remove his DNA, because that's what I'm going to essentially be cloning. That's what I'm going to be copying. I also need an egg cell for this to be possible. So I'm going to use an egg cell of Ms Kim Kardashian. Obviously for legal reasons, this has never actually happened. I'm pretty sure both her and her husband Kanye would be not pleased about this. So obviously with a willing volunteer, you would remove an egg cell. Now an egg cell would be a haploid cell, half the number of chromosomes, so that it could be fertilised by a sperm. Now what I'm going to do to her egg cell, which is quite interesting, is I'm going to remove the nucleus. And the key word here is I'm going to enucleate her cell. So this is an enucleated egg cell. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take her enucleated egg cell, I'm going to remove the nucleus from Will Smith's cell, and I'm going to pop it in the egg cell. So I now have an egg cell that contains the nucleus of who I want to clone. Now, this won't do anything unless I stimulate it in some way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use an electric shock to stimulate it to start performing mitosis. Now, when it starts performing mitosis, it is going to divide and just make carbon copies of itself, and after a while it's going to produce a bundle of cells that we're going to call an embryo. Now an embryo can be used as stem cells, which will be a different video altogether, but now we have an embryo. So up to, if we're doing IVF for example, we create the embryo by fertilising an egg, and we've just kind of done that in a really invasive way. So we've got our embryo. So in order to be able to grow this embryo into a clone, a baby of Will Smith, I'm going to need a surrogate, and for that I'm going to borrow Lady Gaga. Again, for legal reasons, this never happened. We're going to implant the embryo into our surrogate. There's two R's in surrogate. Okay, and then after 9 months, she is going to give birth to a baby who will obviously, there's his hairlet, will obviously be a clone of Will Smith, but 50 years their junior. Okay, so it's going to have 50-year-old cells essentially, but it will be an exact clone of Will Smith when he was a baby. That's basically it. Boom! That was adult cell cloning. Adult cell cloning. You need to be able to draw the diagram, recognise the diagram, talk through the steps. The word enucleation or enucleated is really important, and stimulate for mitosis. There are some downsides. Because Will Smith is 50, he was 50 this year, he will have some older cells, okay, and if you're duplicating those, it means that his clone probably will have some health problems. So Dolly the sheep, the first cloned animal, had health problems and died at the age of 7 of really severe arthritis. It's also quite unethical, really, to create human beings that haven't been asked to, and the ethics of being able to create organisms and take them away. However, could bring back clone some dogs. Barbra Streisand cloned her own dog. They now do it with event horses. There have been a few cloned event horses that have been quite successful. So it's got its highs and lows. We'll do embryonic cloning and plant cloning in another video. See you later. Bye.